podcast
and maybe
on
I'll have
a boat.
plus one.
Me.
Maybe I'll have my plus one, by then.
Oh, no, we're
going to talk that in
It's
existence.
gonna go
In
up.
existence.
It's
It's
gonna
a
go
table
up.
for me. It's a table.
Listen, after the show, let me know your requirements and all
Jules,
that.
stop
The requirements.
I got a lot of frat brothers out here that's single,
That's
looking
it.
for a lovely black woman. All right?
Yes.
I got a lot of fraternity brothers that's
look at
single,
God.
looking
Look
for
at God.
a lovely, God-fearing. Y'all, we said a prayer before this and everything. All right, this is a God-fearing woman here. All right, let you know.
This is a Play Your Cards Right production, sponsored by Queen of Banana Pudding. Enjoy.
Hello. We are back.
We are back in the building.
building.
What's going on, good people?
I am Destiny.
And I am Ebony.
And together we are Respectfully Ebony and Destiny.
Hey, girl.
Hi, I'm excited.
I'm excited. Like, we got our special guest in the building.
Yes, we have a lifelong friend. We have an entrepreneur in the building. We want to make sure that you follow us on Respectfully Ebony and Destiny. So make sure you subscribe.
Yes, please.
On YouTube, follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
But we're going to get into who we have here today. Who is present with us today?
Right. Like Des said, we are super excited that our guest is in the building and we are going to introduce him, okay?
Let's go.
In this episode, we sit down with Juelz, the co-creator and the co-founder of Lyrically Correct, a Black-owned music trivia card game that has taken the world, okay? When I say the world, like they are all over.
Yes.
Okay, the trivia card game that has taken the world by storm with nearly 1 million copies, and we manifesting more. Lyrically Correct is available at major realtors, at Target, Walmart, Amazon, and then they have their own website, lyricallycorrect.com.
Yes.
And if I can add, Respectfully Ebony and Destiny family, this 6th edition viral music trivia card game has transformed countless game nights into unforgettable experiences. What I personally admire most about this game is that his beautiful wife, Nikki, and their extraordinarily talented cousins, Dante and Tiffany Jones, co-created this culturally rich game during the pandemic, aiming to celebrate Black music and create deeper connections through shared memories and friendly competition. Ultimately redefining the landscape of Black-owned entertainment, landing features from Rolling Out, Revolt, New York Times, and even Billboard, and the list goes on.
On and on.
My lifelong friend and brother, Juelz, welcome to our platform.
Welcome, Juelz.
Thank y'all for having me. I love that intro, by the way. I need that. I need to get that like tatted or something like that. That's an intro for real.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Juelz.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for
Definitely.
having
We want to
me.
make sure, like, people who come to see us, you're spending your time and energy, right, to come here. So we want to give you your flowers.
Yes,
right,
of
while you're here.
course.
So what we like to do is break the ice, but what's unique about this experience is that we'll play a game, right, Ebony? Like, we'll play a game, we'll do a little trivia.
Yes.
But you are the game. Like, your business
He
is the game.
Is the game. We got the game on the show.
On lock. All
That's a
right.
fact.
So we are going to attempt to play the game.
All right.
While we, go through the questions. You
Crazy,
already
guys.
set us up. Listen, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, I
we
set
have our
y'all up.
Patreon
Yes,
set
yes,
up
yes.
and
Let's
all
see.
of the good things. You can get all the behind the scenes footage. He already preset the situation. So we'll ask you, right? What is Lyrically Correct?
So Lyrically Correct is a music trivia game that brings back all the nostalgia from your favorite memories and songs. So we have everything, like you said, from a gospel version to a 60s and 70s old school version. We also have a 80s version. We have our 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B version. We have our 90s R&B version, and our newest creation was our 90s pop version.
Ooh.
So you're thinking like
Bye.
exactly. There you go. Some NSYNC, Spice Girls,
Britney.
Britney
Nice.
Spears,
Yeah, that's dope.
all of that. Yeah. So we got everything. We got everything for the entire family. Everything from your cousins that grew up in Long Island, or upstate New York, listening to pop music. You know what I'm saying? We got everything for your grandmother listening to gospel music, to your mom's had you cleaning up on a Saturday.
Right.
I
You
love
know what
that.
I'm saying? To the oldies but goodies version. We have everything for the entire family.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Well said.
Yep.
Let me
Love
say,
that.
what was the moment you realized that this was bigger than just a game? Like,
That's a good
when was
question.
that? Yeah.
I would say probably when because we got into Target, right? Tiffany, which is Dante's wife, she actually worked for Target at like an internship. So everything came around full circle. She was like, yo, we got to get into stores. We have to get into stores.
Yeah.
At first we started off, going up to like the mom and pop, like bookstores and things like that.
Yeah.
In our neighborhood that we grew up in Harlem. And in the Bronx, actually, we went and we got denied, right? To be honest, we got denied from the small mom and pop stores.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, we got to go bigger than that. That's all that means, right? God closes one door
Ooh, open up
and
another
open up
one.
another one.
That's
So
right.
that definitely put the battery in all our back. Like,
Yeah.
all right, cool, Tiff, we going to follow your lead and cool, we're going to go with that. And at that point, she went full head of steam and kept applying. I think she applied like 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
And then finally it came through and it was just like,
Persistence,
wow.
people.
Yes, definitely persistence. But it was that one, I believe, for like Tiff maybe, but I think for the rest of it, because she worked in like a retail space as well.
Okay.
But for, I think, me, Dante, and Nikki, it probably was when we started doing orders and we were getting names that none of us recognized.
Right.
So it was like, who's
When it's not your friends and
who's,
family.
who's
Yeah.
Tiff Jackson that's from
Yeah.
California? Anybody went to college with her? Yo, everybody check your Facebook. You know her? Oh, nah, this is somebody we don't even know.
That's good.
Send her 2 games now just to say
Yeah.
thank you,
Say
something
thank
like
you.
that. So it was probably that when we started getting the orders from
And
people
that shows
we did
me
not
too,
know.
when you get no's, 100 no's,
Yep.
you gonna get 100 yeses
Yes,
behind that.
yes.
So keep pushing, y'all. So
Definitely,
that's dope.
definitely
I
keep
love
pushing.
that.
Keep
That y'all was
pushing.
persistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Introducing Mama's Baby and Papa's Baby 2, the heartwarming family book that redefines what family and Black love represents. Say goodbye to Mama's Baby and Papa's Maybe, and welcome a celebration of equal accountability, responsibility, and togetherness. Get your copy today at IamYourDestiny.com, and don't forget to leave 5 stars on Amazon. Respectfully, Destiny, the publisher and author of Mama's Baby and Papa's Baby 2, in the Google, Barnes & Nobles, or Amazon shop near you. Let your next move be your best move. And I'm taking these with me.
Love that. That was a great segue. So how do we play this
All
game?
right.
Yeah, tell the people.
Like, what are the
Tell the
rules
people.
So,
of the
so
game?
in every box we have right here, which is a instruction sheet that we
Okay.
have, right? So this comes in every game. It'll list out the challenge cards, the way we score, and ultimately the game setup and play, right? So basically, I'll ask you guys a question, right?
Okay.
We have our 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B version.
Wait, are we gonna go
everybody
against each other? Okay, we gotta take a second.
Let's take a sip. All right?
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Okay.
Okay, we ready.
So if you answer the question correct, you get a point.
Okay.
But if you answer it wrong, she gets a point.
Oh, okay.
So somebody
All right.
wins
So
ultimately.
ultimately
Okay.
somebody gonna win.
Okay, I like that.
Now with the challenge cards, you get 3 points. So that's your way to come
Oh.
back
Okay.
and gain more points.
I usually skip the challenge card, but we gonna play this.
We gonna but we gonna skip. We'll skip the challenge one for this one.
You're coaching us through this, so I want to
bet,
learn how to
bet.
really play the game.
Bet.
Okay.
All right, bet. So
Here we go.
We'll do 2 questions just to see where
Okay.
we balance it out. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So these are easy. I should have picked the harder ones.
No, I need to eat. Maybe
All right.
that's
But wait,
good.
no,
I'm
I think you're being nice because
All right.
when I read on the website, it said you have to shuffle the deck. So he's being nice, y'all. But make sure when you go on lyricallycorrect.com, you shuffle the deck and get the bell and
Get all of that,
time
all that.
do the
Yep.
things. Okay.
Use your phone as a timer.
he's my
all of
friend,
that, all of that.
so-
So I'm looking out. I'm gonna hold you down. All right. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna go Ebony first. All right. Since she says she's from Queens, we're gonna test out her
you
Queens
gonna put
knowledge.
me
Here
on
we
the
go. Here we go. All right.
Don't judge.
We're gonna
Okay.
see. We're gonna see.
Okay, I'm
We're
ready.
gonna see if she's Queens or Long Island. Now. We're gonna see. All right. We're gonna see. All right. Here we go. First question is:
Okay.
where can you find 50 Cent?
Oh wait, I'm trying to get in my head. Up in the club.
There you go. All right.
Let's go.
There you go. All right. So she got that point. All right, here we go.
He was about to take my black card.
He's gonna come.
Wait, did you see Juelz face?
If you don't get that,
if you don't get
come
that.
on. All right, we're gonna stay in Queens with this one. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
Now this is it's crazy. I picked out these two. These they enemies, but we love them both. All right. According to Ja Rule, what does every thug need?
A lady.
There you go.
A lady.
There you go.
Okay.
So that's how the game is played. Some of them
That's
you fill in the
good.
blank. Some of them you know the rest of the lyric. Like that's how the game is played.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. All right. So let's get into our Mama's Baby and Papa's Baby 2 segment.
Okay.
So as you know, I've self-published a children's book inspired by my family of 5.
Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. And you have we've supported one another. So this is the part of the conversation where I then like to ask, when you hear Mama's Baby and Papa's Baby 2, that title, what does it mean to you? And specifically, we want to know a little bit about your background growing up in Wagner, NYCHA housing, and how that prepared you for your future.
Okay. So
first question.
That's a lot.
When you hear Mama's Baby and Papa's Baby 2, what does it mean to you?
I think generally, very generally speaking, I think sometimes as fathers, you may get left out like, oh, he's a mama's boy, or you know what I'm saying, like things like that. So I think a lot of people may unknowingly try to leave the father out of the picture. Right. But I think fathers, as a father of 2, of a boy and a girl, we do a lot as well. Women, y'all definitely do a lot. I will say, y'all definitely do a lot, but we do a lot as well. But I think it kind of represents the entire family. Like you need both. You need both. You need somebody to be stern at times. Sometimes the father may need to be stern, but sometimes he needs to be the one speaking confidence into his son or his daughter. Typically in most families, I would assume the women are cooking most, let's say, right? But I know in your family, you said that we
share that responsibility.
Y'all share it. All right. Yeah. But I think I've seen online where you said he does most of the cooking at one point, right?
Yeah, at one point.
At one point. All right. So me, I will admit I don't do a good job at that.
Do you try?
I try.
Okay,
and I'm trying. But I also get my son the other day was like, "You burnt the bacon? What's going on? How you burnt the bacon?" Mind you, he's sick, so he cutting on me already. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So I think it's different roles and responsibilities, but I think you need to help each other out, like cooking, cleaning, folding clothes, washing the kids up, putting gas in the car, like everything. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to help each other out. I think I was watching another podcast or something where they were saying it's not 50-50 all the time. It's 90-10
sometimes
and things like
70-30.
that. Yeah, so, you gotta help each other out when you're down emotionally or physically, So I think that's most important.
That's good. That's
nice.
good.
And so what about Wagner? How was it growing up in Wagner and being this successful now? Like how did your roots shape you?
I think definitely perseverance and kind of I think with growing up. If you're from New York City, you grew up in the projects. She's saying Wagner. That's the name of the project that I grew up in, right?
NYCHA housing is the formal terminology.
Yeah. But I think for every hood all over the world, once you live in poverty, you realize I don't want to go back there. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you do, as 50 said, get rich or die trying. Like, I'm not trying to go back to that by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? And you see a lot of different things, and you realize like, I'm not built for jail. I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
I had friends that got locked up and came on. You ask, what was this? What was that? And you hear the stories, and you like, oh no, I don't want no part of it. Or you see things happen. I had friends pass away in high school. I had a friend, he committed suicide. So I think that was real. Yeah. Different things. Teen pregnancy, you know what I'm saying? Things that affect just growing up in that environment that you realize you don't want anything for. So, I'm going to do everything I can to, stay out of that.
So I have a question. Okay. Right. I want to know, how did you and the other couples come together to build this business? How did you decide to come together? Because I have so many friends, and I'm just thinking like, I don't know if I go in business with them. Will we last? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how important was it to handpick these people out with the company? Yeah.
So I would say the first thing is me and Dante were cousins. He grew up on the 5th floor. I grew up on the 2nd floor in the same building.
Okay.
So we
So
grew
your
up our whole life together. You know what I'm saying? So I essentially do not know life without him. He's my cousin, Nikki. She's my wife, but we've been dating. How old? 16 when we met.
Really?
High school sweethearts.
I love that.
And Dante and Tiff, I believe they was 16 as well when they started dating. I might, that's not my love story. So I don't know the exact year.
We
but,
need you up here, Dante and Tiff.
So, but I know and since high school, I remember Tiff when she was wearing the visor flipped upside down. She hate when I tell that story. But yeah, I remember back in the day coming over there to Wagner and stuff to chill with D. So, you know, if you know somebody for that long, you trust them and you know them enough to know if you're going to trust them or not.
Right.
But Dante went to school for business, and he also was a small business banker.
Oh, wow.
So he comes from a business background, right?
That's good.
I don't have a business background. Nikki didn't go to school for that either. I didn't really know what Tiff did, but I knew she did something in like marketing or something like that with business. So I asked D like, yo, would y'all want to partner with us on this? You know what I mean? Nikki saw something online and was like, yo, this would be a dope game. She saw like some question, like some music. You know how stuff is always online and everything. She's scrolling. This was like in the middle of COVID. And at that point, she said, this would be a cool game. And I was like, yo, this would be a dope game. Yo, let's do this. And she was like, I don't know. How we going to make this work? Like we had just moved back home and everything. And I was like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's just call it. So you
said back home from?
So we moved, the whole story. We lived in Atlanta for like 5 years. And then after that, we moved to San Diego.
Oh.
And then from San Diego, we came back east. And then we back in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all came up with Lyrically Correct, the name?
So I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So she said this would be a dope game. I say, yes, this would be. Let's turn this into a business. I don't know how, but I know we can make this work. And called D. D was like, let me sit on this. Let me talk to Tiff about this. All right, cool. The next morning, he called me like, yo, let's figure this out.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this.
I love
So then after that, we just put our heads together and said, all right, well, what genre of music are we going to come out with first? And we said, well, we know the music that we grew up on, 90s and 2000s. Y'all from New York, going to Skate Key, rucker parties, King Dome parties, you know, all of this, everything in Wagner in the Bronx and Harlem, going to different parties and everything. So we said we'd just come out with a 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B version. And Tiff, like I said, she went to school for branding and marketing, so she had a background in that.
Dope.
So we had the pieces of the puzzle,
Right.
And we just had to put it all
together.
together.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Oh, and
so
then the name.
Yeah, the name.
So now we coming up with the questions from the cards.
Okay.
Cool. We got all the questions done now.
Okay.
That was a whole process, arguing and everything.
Right.
Like,
I was getting we're going to do this.
Exactly. My question's better than this, and this one's better than that, and everything.
Okay.
So then it was like, all right, this is when Versus was popping. This when we having full, like, online, watching it on TV and everything,
right.
So I like the name Versus, right? Like, you battling somebody.
Right, you versus me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're thinking.
They dead at that. Nah, I'm not feeling
it's
that.
already stamped. Somebody already has it.
And then Nikki was like, she was just sitting there. Like, she'll get quiet if she's thinking. She just is like, lyrically correct. And
she's
then,
a strategist.
Definitely. So then she goes, lyrically correct. And I'm like, I don't really know. And D was like, nah, yo, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Come on.
And then we sitting there, and Tiff was like, yeah, let's rock. All right, cool. That's the name. And then D came up with putting the music note here.
That's so nice.
And everything like that. And then it was just like, all right, that's the name. We put out like a little survey amongst our friends. I don't think anybody picked anything besides Lyrically Correct. Like, there was like a landslide.
Surveys is a great idea.
Yeah.
We also wanted to pick your brain, obviously. We want to learn from the best. So those are different like marketing strategies that is dope that we need to use and
incorporate.
incorporate.
Like your family and friends, they're going to keep it honest.
They're
A little bit too honest sometimes.
Yeah,
they're going to tell you the truth. Like, nah, that's whack. You be like, yo, you ain't got to be so harsh. You ain't got to be so harsh. You know what I'm saying?
It's a yes or no.
No, I don't need no more details. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was that. So we put out the survey, and then they said, rock out with Lyrically Correct. So that's what we did.
All right, so let's rock out. We're going to the next question.
Let's do another round.
All right, look. So this is what we're going to do. So we on our street interviews that we do all throughout the world, right? We're trying to be international with it. So now we are
international.
We have
you are.
Yes. You're right.
That's it, Jess.
So we have a segment on our street interviews where we do is called Cards and Conversations.
Okay.
All right. So you answer the question.
Okay.
And then you give a little story about the question that I asked.
Oh, that's
all right?
good.
All right. We asked these two already. All right. Let me see.
Look at every. You nervous?
God.
You nervous?
All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. So this one, whoever answers this first, we're going to go away from the rules.
Okay.
How we typically do.
Okay.
Nah, black people do. We
Yeah.
got the rules, but we ain't really follow the rules, right?
Yeah, because I was playing it without the rules, but I wasn't going to say nothing.
So whoever answers this first
Okay.
gets the point. All right.
Okay.
Do you know what today is?
Anniversary.
Yep.
I was erasing the whole song. Do you know the day is our anniversary?
Wait, that was close.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
But you got it. You got it. So you
anniversary.
answer it first,
All
right?
right?
And then you can answer.
Oh,
right?
Lord.
All right. So now,
that's
since it's your anniversary, right? What is your favorite? It could be an anniversary or date or just your favorite romantic memory that you had with your significant other.
Wow. My favorite romantic memory.
My favorite romantic memory. He holding it down, son. He holding it down. My favorite romantic
She got all
with the
mushy
head
on
nods and all that.
I heard that my voice changes.
Yes, go ahead, baby.
I mean, but your voice is not supposed to remain the same with the man that you love. But okay. No, but honestly, favorite, anytime we're away from the kids, I'm thinking of all of our like Pocono trips. Okay, so there was one actually anniversary trip that we went to. Oh, I forget the name, but it's a hotel suite. It's called Eden something of Eden.
In the Poconos?
It's not in the Poconos, but it's in
up there.
Pennsylvania.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, and we booked the like entire loft, and it was just us.
Okay.
And at the time,
Come on now.
I purchased some of Sade Cosmetics. She has like the multi-purpose body oil scent. So we just used that time
Got
to
you
get
there.
cozy
Relax,
and relax and
Got you.
massage.
I
So
love
anytime
it.
there's like quality time,
Got you. Okay.
yeah, and I
All
can
right.
like cater to him without the kids being around, and
that's
we could
good.
just,
That's good.
you know, drink and do what we do and lounge without disruptions.
Gotcha.
It's good.
I
Gotcha,
love
gotcha,
that.
gotcha.
Yeah, that was your question because I don't got no anniversary for me, y'all. Okay.
Fellas.
I love it.
Fellas. You know, she said, single, ready, man?
She said slide in those DMs.
Slide in the DMs, fellas. Listen. All right.
That was good, cuz. I love
it.
that.
Oh,
You
thank
want to ask one
thank
more?
you.
You want
Yeah,
to do one?
yeah. Let's do another one.
All right,
Let's
here
do
we go.
one.
Here we go. All right. What did the big timers wear with their gator boots?
Ooh,
Why
come on, you got it. Hey, with the Gucci suit. With the Gucci suit.
With the Gucci.
It was the shoulder.
With the Gucci suit?
Okay, it was the shoulder.
Close.
Gator boots
with the pimped out Gucci suit.
Oh, with the pimped out
There you
Gucci
You
go.
ain't got
suit.
no
All
job.
right, so look.
You don't got no job?
So look, your question is, right, for Cards and Conversation,
Okay.
in your era of partying, whether it be high school, early 20s, clubbing, you know, lounge, everything, what was like the brands or the looks that you was, or hairstyles that was in that era that you was like, nah, this is what I was wearing,
Ebony
no matter
been a
what.
fly girl.
Like,
She
this
been
is
fly. This ain't
Well,
nothing
first
new.
of all, I wasn't in the clubs growing up. I'ma just be very honest. I was
All
in
right.
church.
All right.
All right? Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
In your 20s?
In my 20s, baby.
You was in I met you in your 20s.
I was in church. Don't do that. Look, don't do that. No, okay, wait a minute. No, I did rebel a little bit in my 20s. I was going to Sammy's. Y'all remember that club?
Yes,
Sammy's up the
was
block.
popular.
Up the
Sammy's
block from where I used to live.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just say this.
All right.
Let me just say this. I used to rock the salt and pepper, the hats with the short,
Ooh.
with the short hair.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
that
do
was
remember.
the
I remember that.
signature. That was the signature
That was
style.
What was on your feet? Heels or
was it
kicks?
Reeboks,
Like, what was
Felines?
then?
What was popping back then?
Set the scene. What?
Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh,
like
set the
what?
scene.
Are you driving? Are
I'm
you
driving.
on a train?
I'm always
or?
driving. Now I'm
All
always
right.
driving. I
All
always
right.
had a car.
Pushing P.
Fellas,
okay?
fellas, you gotta
P.
have a
Been
car.
pushing
I'm letting you know you gotta have a car.
I was
Go ahead.
driving.
You gotta have a car, fellas. This is.
So I'm
She's
driving,
not getting on the
right?
train.
Then I'm putting it down, and then I remember wearing them leather hats, and I always had it tilted. It
Got
was
you.
tilted.
Got
The
you.
short haircut tilted to the side. And
this
then
is
I had the
funny.
baby pumps on. I wasn't really doing
All right.
like the Destiny,
The
the
baby
baby pumps. Yeah, the baby
All
pumps.
right.
But they were cute, you
Got
know.
you.
Okay.
All right. All right. Cool.
Jules,
Cool.
okay, I got you.
Okay, cool. All right. So let me ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
What are some pros and cons when it comes to building a business and brand with your spouse?
Good.
All right. Hold on. We're going to pause. Hold on, let me get out. Let me get this out.
your
Let me
thoughts
answer this
together.
one. Let me get my-
Watch what you
let me get
say.
my thoughts together
Your
here.
wife is
All right?
watching.
All right. So you said pros and cons. All right.
Yeah. So let's talk about the good stuff.
So the good stuff first is that they're always around, right?
Yeah.
So you could bounce ideas off of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot of the social media, and we just hired a editing agency to work with us, right? But
Nice.
a lot of the stuff that's on our page, I did a lot of the editing. Didn't know how to do everything beforehand, but learned on the go, right?
Right.
But I could bounce ideas off of her, and she would shut a lot of stuff down. Like, no, what is this? This needs to be better quality,
Yeah.
things
Right.
like this, or
Yeah.
just ideas, right? We did with hip hop and R&B, so some of the stuff is sexual and things like this, and it's like, that's too much.
Yeah.
We have a family
A
game.
family,
This,
yeah.
no, that can't happen, right? Uncle Luke was big in the 90s. I'm ready to throw Uncle Luke up there. Like, yo, show the video.
Right.
She's like, what are we doing here? Where did it go? Can't do that. You know?
PG-13.
Yeah,
people.
so
Right.
I think the good part is you could bounce ideas off of each other. The bad part is, once again,
Or the
you're
challenge. We'll say the challenge.
you always around each other.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
I need a break. You
Right.
you are annoying me right now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think and then balancing life with the kids,
Yeah.
you know, doing pickups, drop-offs from school and
That's a
everything.
lot, yeah.
I think it's a lot, and you just have to balance, right? Like I think recently we just said, all right, every Friday, even if we just staying in the house, we got to be together. If you're not going out with your friends and doing your thing, if you just don't have anything planned, it's not going to be we sitting on the couch together, but we both scrolling and
Yeah.
not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, all right, let's watch a movie
Date
together.
nights.
Or let's just chill. Let's plan the summer. Let's talk about what we want to do in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things like that.
That's perfect. You mentioned that because that was another question I had, but I feel like you're answering it. How do you maintain that balance and saying, hey, we're not going to do
Right.
business. We're not
Work.
going to talk business.
Yeah.
I think you already, gave an example. Can you expound on that a little bit?
So
Like how important is that to
The quality
maintain the
time.
romantic?
it's very important.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you could go days and sometimes weeks where it's like, did we talk about just us aside from
Yeah.
the business?
Right.
Did we talk about outside of the kids? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like how are you feeling? Are you upset? Are you
yeah.
mad? Or like it could be like real routine, like, all right, cook, you pick up the kids, we do this, we
Yeah.
do that. And then it turns to it's boring.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's the part where you start drifting away and
Yeah.
things like that. You know, you talk to other couples that are in relationships and everything. You pick their brain like, well, what went wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's going right? Things like that. Like we have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, so we new to the whole parent thing. So I talked to a lot of parents and like, well, how do you
Right.
Yeah.
do this? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Do you have support? You have a village?
yes,
Good.
yes, thank God. Then
Thank
that's why
God.
we moved back
Thank
east
God.
Right.
rather
Right.
than west because it was
Right.
difficult.
Right.
So I think it's definitely important to have a village. My mom's, she'll help out, babysit sometimes, so that's important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to give yourself a break so you can spend time with your spouse.
Yeah, you need that.
So definitely having a village will help. Sure.
Good
That's dope.
stuff.
Yeah.
Any funny, memorable stories from game nights or live events that you hosted that you can tell us about? Something
So
crazy.
we haven't had any live events yet. We are
Okay.
working on that.
Oh, good.
Hopefully soon. Look out for us this summer. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? We got something planned. Funny game nights. I think 2 come to mind. One was probably the dopest one, where it was a woman. Her friend was getting engaged, and she reached out to us and was like, "Hey, I love y'all game. Can y'all create a card where it's asking him to marry.
Marry.
Like, will you
Wow.
marry? Because we have
Love that.
a jagged edge question in the deck,
Okay.
right?
Love it.
So it's like, where did jagged edge say to meet? And then meet me at the altar, right? So yeah, so she sent us a video. Yeah. So she sent us a
that's so
video and
dope.
everything like
I
that
love
where
that.
he's up there asking like, oh, he asked her like, where the jagged edge? She's like, the altar. And
Right,
then
she's like,
yeah.
duh.
And she's like singing happy, but everybody else is like with their phone out.
Right.
Like,
And then she caught on.
And then she's like, why y'all like that? Well, what's the next one? So then he gave her the next one. And then it said her name on it, like, will you marry him? And she's like, wait,
that's
what? What's going on?
So wait, you personalized that? for
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
Oh.
I
yeah,
love
yeah, we
that.
personalized. So we try to get
Do
real,
you hear
like,
that, gentlemen?
yeah. So we try to get very like creative with our customers.
Yes.
If you get like emails and text messages, we call everybody cousin in our emails and text. Just because we're a family game, so we want to treat our
Yeah.
customers as if we are all family.
Family.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I love that. We take that approach too. We go, hey family.
Hey,
Yeah,
family.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
And
that.
I feel like family here. You know, the dope
Yes.
intro and all that. I got
family.
drinks,
We
all
are
that. Yeah.
yeah. Any family of mine, vice versa. Is
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Ebony's vice
It's all
versa.
love,
For
yeah.
sure.
Love that.
I love that.
As per research,
Mm-hmm.
all 4 of the founding members have designated roles and positions. You already described some of those roles and positions. How important is it to have those designated roles to successfully scale in business?
They're very important. And this is what, year 5 now? And we skipped over that in the beginning. You know, when you first start and it's just, get in when you finish. You see work needs to be done over
Right.
here, you go do it.
Right,
you know,
right.
We took that approach. And then realizing if I'm working on, let's say, our finances, that's not my ministry.
That's not your area of
That's not
expertise.
my
Right.
ministry.
That's
I love
not
that
me.
ministry.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
that's not me. Whereas Dante, he did business banking. So why am I dealing
Right.
with the numbers where I got somebody that knows how to do
Right.
this? You know what I'm saying? I'm not as organized as my wife. So why am I going through emails and doing all of this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Whereas
It's a lot of work.
dealing with like the social media and editing and coming up with different ideas.
That's your strength.
That's my strength, you know? So it's like, all right, I'll stay over here. But in the beginning, it was difficult. And Tiff was like, we really need to work our strengths here.
Right.
You stay in this lane, you stay in this. If you need help, ask for
Yeah.
assistance, and then we'll come over and help you or shoot ideas to you to make it better. So I think probably within the last year and a half is where we kind of got there.
And can you remind me, Tiff?
Tiff, that's Dee's wife.
What? Yeah, but what exactly?
So Dante is the CEO. Tiff is the COO.
So what is she like? What is
So
her
she's
focus?
over like logistics and everything. So she's more or less taking everything from aerial view. Okay, when are we shipping? How many games do we need to order? What? So she's the one that got us a manufacturer for the box, right? She also helped us get a designer.
And she was in Target,
And
right?
she-
Got
so
it.
she
Yes,
worked
yes,
in
yes.
Target, so she has the background.
Right.
So like, funny story. Me and Dee was like, yeah, we started this in March and was like, all right, we're gonna come out with the games in, let's say, September. So then we could order it, let's say, in July. She's like, what are you talking about? These games are being shipped from China. What
Right.
you know how much that's gonna cost for
Right.
airfare? Like, no, we need to ship these in by boat months in advance. And then now people are gonna want games during the holiday times, right? But right after the
Right.
holidays, it's Chinese New Year. So now, how you gonna have games for the spring and summer?
She's being
So
proactive.
she's being proactive, but
I
you
love
gotta
it.
have.
but it's good she even knew that,
Right.
right?
Exactly. So it's like
Because I would have known that.
Me either.
most people don't, you know, because now
Right.
you're dealing with everything that's going on now with tariffs and everything like that, shipping costs. So it's like, okay, order your games in, like for instance, right? So when we first started, you nervous, and are people gonna buy this? So we said we're all gonna chip in $500. So it's $2,000. That's what we started this business off of. It's only
Look at
$2,000,
that. Only
right?
two.
But we said, what can we all put out and not really hurt? Right? Like if
Right.
we lose it, all go down the toilet.
Right.
Then
Right.
all right, cool. So $500, cool. We put that up, and I think that got us 500 games. And we literally text everybody on our phone. Went through I didn't even have Instagram at the time. Created an Instagram.
Wow.
Followed everybody I went to college with. Was in my frat. Everything like that. And just DM, this my new game. And I know it's annoying. The people, right? You get these, yo, I got a new business, blah blah blah. But I show love to people all the time. So,
Exactly.
you know,
Show
even
me
if you
back.
like,
Yeah.
comment, you share, those are free ways to show love to people.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we ordered 500
Support
games.
is free.
And within the first month, we sold out. And Tiff was like, I told y'all, we need to order more games. Why y'all playing? Like, why y'all playing?
Underestimating
Why
the
y'all
All of us
playing?
was like,
More.
damn, Tiff, you right. Yo, we should have ordered more. So now I think we ordered like, we still a little nervous because now it's holiday time. Those are all our family and friends that ordered the 500 we sold out. So we're like, well, we trying to grow. So now we get on Shopify and things like that to sell it. And then I would say like in that season, we started seeing people, all right, Delaware. Okay, but then you could kind of piece it together like, I went to college with this person. And
Right.
they know this person.
Right.
So it ain't
Right.
really. And I think we got something out of like Arizona. We was like, oh, nobody out there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, nah, this is really taking off.
Yeah.
So then it was like, nah, we got to order 2,500 because then we had to go. We ordered a bunch, then we sold out. So then right after the holidays, we had to put up a notice on our website, sold out, but you could pre-order.
Wow.
That don't really look good for a business. How you sell out, you got to know all of this stuff. So of course, Tiff is tight. Tiff is tight now. Like
stock.
I told y'all.
Right.
We like, all right, Tiff, we gonna order more. So then from that point on, it was just always like, yo, if Tiff trusts her mind,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and she knows what she's talking about, just follow
trust the
suit.
process,
Yeah, trust the process. If she's telling you
Right.
that she ain't, I mean, it's her money's in there too, so she ain't, she's not trying to lose money either. So that's where we at now. Just
I don't know if Ebony, you can speak to this, but I feel like as a small business owner, someone who doesn't necessarily have a team, like all those different moving parts, doing it alone, like Ebony's doing it like alone, it's a lot to really legitimize, if that makes sense. Like you have Dante, who's like the banker, like return. So when it comes to return on investment, is he telling you, okay, we spent 2,500,
Right.
but this was the profit? Like all of those are the things that I'm like, I need help with, because to your point, as a mother of 3, it is just somebody who doesn't necessarily have those team players. That's stressful.
It is.
so I think one, it is stressful, right? So I think me and Nikki are lucky and blessed to have, like Dante always says it, like, yo, I thank God for my cousin bringing this business to me, so now I could feed my family. But me and Nikki are also very appreciative where we get a masterclass at branding, marketing, and business as we're going making money. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
a blessing.
but yeah, he'll come back like, yo, this is the financial report for this month.
Yeah.
These are the.
That's important.
These are our highest clients. These are the cities that we're selling the most in. You know what I mean? And Nikki, she keeps everything like organized, super, super organized. So that's her role.
Yes,
So I
all
think,
of that is
but
important.
you need people that you could trust, but you
Yep.
also have to be willing to learn different things. You know, you can't really just, I don't know that, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to mess up,
To
take a
learn all
loss, and
lessons.
it's not really a loss; it's a lesson learned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
How do you feel that the game contribute? How do you feel like your game contribute to the Black culture and the community?
So I would say I grew up. My mother was born in Sumter, South Carolina. So I grew up going to family reunions down south in South Carolina, right? So at the last one, I think they had in New York, and this was like probably 96, 97. I haven't had a family reunion since.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So for me, it's more or less like a family reunion. Like you send these games out, people tag us in pictures, or people will FaceTime me and be like, yo, look, I'm here at this event, they playing your game. And I'll see like an older woman like, oh, this song she's singing a James Brown in the oldies but goodies one. You know what I'm saying? Or you get some videos and it's like the entire family singing a gospel song. You know, so I think it just brings family together. I think you played it on Zoom. You played it on Zoom with our other childhood friend, Brittany.
Yes.
And then you also played it with a mega superstar. I'm about to say a mega. I want to say that was like the first celebrity that ever played our game was with Havoc. So definitely
that was
appreciate
during the pandemic.
That was during the pandemic. So like during that time when people needed to be around their family, it's like, yo, you could play this on Zoom and connect.
Yes.
And just, you know, talk.
And Havoc loved it, by the way.
Yeah. Nah, he seemed like, I think he got the question right. He got the question right.
Yeah, he got it. He got a few right.
Yeah, shout out to Havoc though. That was the first celebrity I think that we had played the game. Yeah.
Fun fact, they're from the same neighborhood.
Oh, word. Okay.
He's from
All right.
Queensbridge. I'm from Astoria, but they're like
They're right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the biggest projects in the
Yeah,
world in
yeah,
Queensbridge.
that's it.
I know
The
it.
game is definitely a movement, though. I see it all over. And even before I met you at Destiny's event, I've heard of the game.
Gotcha.
Right.
Like, we were playing the game, because I'm the game queen.
Gotcha, okay.
Hostess with the mostest.
Every holiday, we playing games, and it's so funny. And then she's like, that's not when I grew up. I was like, oh, when I met you, I was like,
That's what's up.
so it's definitely a movement, and this is super dope.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
And after your game was released, I feel like I see so many different renditions. Like it's so many of us.
That come,
And I'm like, were they inspired?
Maybe
a little bit.
But we appreciate it if people do get us. People have hit us up in the DM like, yo,
really?
I want to start a card game. Where do I begin?
Oh, wow.
Things like that. So sometimes we are able to help. Sometimes we can't, help, things like that. But there are a lot of dope games. I think we like having like Black Game Night, right? Where it's whether TV shows, music, fun facts, things like that. There's a lot of dope games out there. You got what is it called? Trivia for Us is these two women. They're from Brooklyn. Okay. Actually, they we show them love. They show us love all the time.
Oh, that's dope. Shout out to them.
You got Trivia for Us. You got Hip Hop Charades, a young lady out of Chicago.
Nice.
That's another dope game. You got Poe Up is like a college game.
I think I've heard of
where she's asking you like college facts.
Okay.
And you Poe Up if you get the answer wrong and things like that. So it's a dope drinking game. It's a dope drinking game.
Okay.
That's some
good ones out there.
Yes, and that's a perfect segue for the next question. As a father of two, with your collegiate experience and success in business thus far, what conversations will you have with your children regarding furthering their education?
So I think, one, I'm already kind of putting it in his brain. Like he asked me the other day, my son, he was like, when him and Dante and his daughter MJ, he's like, when are me and MJ going to be in a video? When are we going to be in a video? So now I'm trying to think
for the content.
I'm trying to think of a cool way to get them in the video.
Content.
Exactly.
Hello. So that's right.
But I think
that will go too.
Yeah. So I think to teach him about like furthering his education. I think education is definitely very, very important. Whether if you're going to college or some type of other formal education, whether it be trade school or things like that, or even that's expensive. But I have a friend, he actually just took out money, a loan and everything, and learned how to fly a plane.
Oh, wow.
So, you know what I mean? So it's different ways to advance. Right. To earn legal money out here. It's here. You know what I'm saying? We don't have enough Black pilots and just don't have enough Black people in these higher positions. Yeah. And then the only way to get them is through education. Right. So I think that's very important. So I know, like, I'm in a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. The world's greatest fraternity, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
The world's greatest.
But I think, like, I go to different homecomings, and you see younger kids, people come back with their families.
It's the legacy.
You see it's the legacy, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's important. I think just introducing different jobs to kids early. Like there's nobody in 2005 would think social media was going to be like this, where content is and everything. It's people literally getting paid millions of dollars to create a video.
That's why I don't mind being annoying, because I remember you having that conversation with me years ago and saying, hey, giving me little tips, like you can send different, messages, even if it's to celebrities or influencers and they don't answer, somebody's gonna bite. And you have to be annoying.
You gotta just
because it's about your bread and butter, so you can't even think like that. You have to think like this is a part of my business, right? Like what we hold in our hand is a ticket.
Yes.
If we use it right.
I think for right now, I was watching John Hope Bryant is a Black guy, but he knows a lot about, he's more or less like a financial advisor and everything like that, and a real estate investor. But he was saying for right now, AI is it. If you could learn and master AI, you are leveling the playing field with that. So if everybody at home, if you're looking for something to master how to get to this chicken, master AI.
Yes,
like, for real.
Ebony, we definitely had some conversation. She quiet over there.
Yeah, I'm just like,
she's quiet over there.
I
mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to compromise your integrity, right? Like we're talented, but the goal, to your point, what I've learned about how AI is being used specifically in the content creation space is you want to work smarter and not harder.
Yes.
Like if someone else can write a caption for me, that's 1,000 words.
Right.
All I have to do is go change a few words.
Description, and that's it.
It's like, because I may not have the manpower. I may not have 4 or 5 people on my team. Like, you know what I mean? Even if you do, you may need more team players.
It's like one of the card games I mentioned earlier, Trivia for Us. We talk a lot to Trivia for Us, and Urban Trivia is another game. They do like a whole event and everything as well. But just we bounce ideas a lot off of them as well. But she was like, well, how do y'all come out with, y'all got 6 different versions. How y'all do this so much? I was like, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It's 4 of us. Like, it's 2 of y'all, it's 4 of us.
Right.
That's just hard to compete just off to the sheer numbers.
That
you know
part,
what I'm saying? So
that part.
If you don't have the numbers, then yes, utilize, AI and other resources like that. But yeah, is definitely use it. It's a helpful tool.
So helpful.
What's next for Lyrical Correct?
So the
Any
next
spin-offs? Any new ideas in the works?
you
told me I was going to do your
events.
Yeah.
So we got the events coming up. We looking on different spaces. We want to do something outside, inside, on a rooftop, on a boat. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to figure out what we want to do next.
Right, exactly.
I got y'all. We got y'all. We got y'all for sure.
No line.
Yeah, no line. Yo, straight to the front. Let's go.
Right. Exactly.
But now we just trying to figure out what's next. The main thing what we're trying to do now. So we're available on Amazon. We're also available on Amazon in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So we're trying to expand into all over the world. We trying to. I always say we trying to be like Coca-Cola. Like we want to be literally all over the world.
Everywhere.
Right? So the next spot where we want to take over is in Canada.
Nice.
So any Canadian influencers, look us up.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the next spot we're going to events and just go international with it.
Okay. I love it. Good stuff.
Ebony, you want to introduce Tea and Treats?
Tea and Treats. This is our Tea and Treats segment
right.
where we get to indulge in some of my treats. I am the owner and operator of Queen of Banana Pudding and Desserts. And I always bring a little teaser, little treats. Now, you said you like banana pudding.
I do.
So let's slide the banana
I was going to say, I'm very judgy off banana pudding now. I'm very judgy off banana pudding now.
You very what?
Judgy. Very judgy. Banana pudding and peach cobbler?
And peach cobbler,
yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
You said a peach cobbler.
Yeah, yes,
Take.
So I'll try. That looks good.
It does look good.
It's like layered and everything.
Yes.
Thank you. Is this the strawberry
shortcake cake crumble?
Yes. This
okay.
Is one of my faves.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How long you been baking for?
Since I was like 8, 9, but
all my life.
But I started my business like it's 6 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I started my business.
This crumble is crumbling.
Okay, it's crumbling.
Here we go. I'm good to go.
Okay, yes.
Yes,
Taste it and let me know. And be honest.
Right.
Let me know if I'm missing something.
Okay, here we go.
Talk to me. Look, talk to me.
Oh, that was good. I got a little banana. Pause. Right? Pause. This is good, though. Nah, this is good. Sweet.
Literally, like, she never misses. I can't. She
yeah.
never misses, and it is what
This
it
is
is.
it. Oh, yeah, nah, this is it.
For real.
Fellas, listen.
Yo, stop.
Her DMs are open.
Listen, I'm just saying.
I'm a baker.
Wait, what
Fellas,
you gonna say, Julie?
Listen. You fed good. All right? You're going to have to hit the gym, though, because you're going to eat a lot.
Right, we can treat ourselves, and then after the morning, the next morning, we're going to the gym.
I ain't stopped eating yet. That's what I'm saying. Is it more? Is it more?
I got you some to take home to you, for you and your wife. Yep,
perfect.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
And I have books for Dante and Tiff's because I want to definitely bless them, even though they're not here. Thank you.
Next time, we're going to get them.
Next time, all of you,
on the boat, on our event.
Yeah, we got to do the boat. The boat.
Oh, podcast
and maybe
on
I'll
a
have
boat.
a plus one.
Maybe
I'll have my +1, by then.
Oh, no, listen.
We're going to talk that in
existence. It's a table for me. It's a table.
Listen, after the show, let me know your requirements and all that.
Requirements.
I got a lot of frat brothers out here that's single, looking for a lovely black woman. All right?
Yes.
We got a lot of fraternity brothers that
look
say
at God.
looking
Look
for
at God.
a lovely, God-fearing.
Right.
Y'all, we said a prayer before this and everything. All right, this is a God-fearing woman here. All right, let you know she gonna feed you well and all
I'm
that.
gonna feed you well, right? I'm gonna feed
Definitely
you well.
let that prayer.
We cater to our man, right?
Hello,
We
you gotta-
cater
that's
to
how you
our
keep
man.
That's a fact.
Gotta cater.
But it's
You have
good.
to
It's
cater.
good.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm almost done
It's
now.
I'm almost
amazing.
done now.
If you want to double dip, you could try the strawberry short. That crumble is amazing.
Right.
So, as you guys know, we get into tea and tea. So usually we'll have some of her tea here, but we have a drink. Shout out to Worthy Curated Brands.
Yes, she did these amazing cups for us.
Amazing,
Our
personalized,
faces is on.
sip with purpose, and
Okay.
respectfully Ebony and Destini
Yes.
cups for us.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you.
And we get into some tea.
All right.
All right, so let's get into this.
He's like, all
Nervous
right.
now. There's
Nervous.
a lot going on in
There's
the
a
world.
lot.
Right.
So much going on.
Right.
So we wanted to talk about Kevin Gates, right?
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Who ultimately he expressed how LeBron's wife doesn't show him the affection or
She doesn't look
Glow
at
him
him.
in a
over
way.
him,
Yeah,
glow
yeah, yeah.
over
Right,
him, or
like-
look at
like
him.
the white-
yeah.
like the white girls.
women
Yeah,
do.
that's
It's
what
like
he said,
comparing a wife to random white girls and groupies. Not sure how that works out,
Right.
but he then had the audacity to go and what was it, the
show up.
Timberwolves game? What?
I don't remember who they played, but
I'm
yeah,
gonna
he went to
look it up,
Lakers
but
game.
he showed
went to
up.
the
It was
Lakers
a
game.
Lakers
For sure,
game.
Lakers
When
game,
I
yeah.
did the research, I think it was the Timberwolves. I'll pull it up. But how do you feel about that, especially as a husband, someone who
Right.
protects black women?
So-
How do you feel about that?
So I would say, me and LeBron are very similar in ways. Now, but we are though in terms of LeBron has been with his wife since high school.
Right.
I have been with my wife since high school.
Those
Yeah.
are similar.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Kevin Gates is wilding. Like it's
Yeah.
simply put, like you don't comment on somebody else's relationship.
Yeah.
In other words, like another husband and wife, that's just not really your place to. As Dame Dash would say, you a chatty patty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Chatty
Like
patty.
you just speaking on stuff for no reason.
Right.
But I think he should have just mind his business, right? But I also think he's saying how someone looks at you, that's more or less like lusting over you, right? Like you're talking about a woman lusting over LeBron,
Right.
whereas his wife is more or less nurturing him
Yeah.
and nurturing his children and, helping him out in ways that the public can't see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard being an athlete. It's hard being a mega superstar.
Yeah.
And you don't know what it may be days where LeBron is like, yo, I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to just pack this up. We
Right.
got enough money. And she's like, nah, babe, you could do this.
Right,
You
keep
built for this.
going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We from Akron, Ohio,
Right.
middle of nowhere type of thing. And now you are the king, as
Yeah.
he's called. You know what I'm saying? So I
The
think
moral support that she's been providing as a
it's
wife.
stuff that goes on behind
Right.
closed doors in everybody's
The
relationship,
right.
to feed his mental,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that you need to keep going. Like it's a lot of pressure. He got a school and
Yeah.
everything that's educating
He got a lot
kids.
going on.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it just wasn't his
Yeah.
place to say
to say
So my
anything.
question is,
anything. Yeah.
he comes to your game, right? It's your game.
Okay.
You playing. He's sitting front row with
Front
his
row.
girl, front row, and you playing.
Okay. Now.
What would you do? Like you,
Now
Oh,
he
I don't.
playing in my face right now. Like, what would you do? Your wife. I mean, he's just spoke on your wife. Like, what do you do? Do you sit there? Do you say?
I think LeBron took the I would say the old me, right? The old
The
me
old
would
you.
probably react in a whole different way.
Right.
But being that LeBron once again is a activist, he is who he is, right? In terms of a leader in the league, he's a
Yeah.
leader of his family. How do you want yourself to be portrayed? What you want your sons to do? What do you want young
That's a
other
fact.
black males to see?
Yeah.
Go at it in a way of violence, right? Yeah, he could have snuffed them and did all of that. Now
Yeah.
you're the angry black man, right? And now you hurting another black man, right? So now that looks bad. But I think little Instagram post where he did, right?
Yeah,
where
he
said
did. He responded
the
via Instagram. The kings don't respond to peasants.
Yeah,
Right.
peasants
He
or
calls them a
something like
peasant.
that. So I think that's cool. Like I think
Right.
it's like, bro, go on, do your
Yeah.
thing. We good over it. I know I'm good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then also, if you want to quote unquote be messy, I mean, who's his lady now? She has a history. And we'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it at-
Look,
and
you
I
know what I'm
think-
saying?
drops the mic. So I also think the backlash came from he didn't have a problem approaching Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
So he
That is
approached.
true.
So it's like
That is
when
true.
I spoke to my man about it, he was just like, "Yeah, he was supposed to keep that same energy.
He should have.
But it may not have went well for him. To your point,
Yeah.
so
I think that's.
I think he was more strategic.
Yeah.
I think
Whether he
'cause
should
thought about
approach
it.
Kevin
once
Gates
again,
versus Stephen A.
you got a
Smith.
lot.
Right.
You got a lot.
To lose.
You got a lot to lose. You got a lot to, and then you
Yeah.
also got to think his son is new in the league,
Yeah.
and
He needs to set an example.
I
That's
think
good.
he needs to set an example. And he's
Yeah.
trying to get his next son to be in the league
Yeah.
as well, right? I don't know what the plans are for his young daughter, but he might want to play basketball as well. So and that kind of goes into what's going on now with Deion Sanders and everything.
Ooh,
How
yes.
they was kind of more or less doing his son dirty, right? He should have been drafted higher.
Yeah.
But if somebody has a problem with the parent,
Right.
then they
got
probably
the
going to have a
kids.
problem
Yep.
with that kid as well.
Yep.
So I think he probably, I think emotionally with Stephen A. Smith, it was like, yo, you talking about my kid, my son, my
Right.
firstborn.
Right.
So
That's what
I
I
think
said.
his
So then what
emotions
is
probably
it, kid or
got the
wife?
mess.
What's the...
I think I don't want to say learned his lesson, but
Yeah.
things might not
Got
have
it.
went
It had
well.
already, he had already had a situation.
Yeah, it's like,
Got
do
it.
I want to be in the news for something negative
Exactly.
approaching him?
Again?
Exactly. Again. That
you
makes
know what I'm
sense.
saying? So I
That makes
think
sense.
that's
Right?
where
But
he
I know
probably
he was
went.
there. He seen him.
Oh, hot.
He
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, you
"Oh,
hot.
that nigga
Yeah,
trying to
wait. Yeah, you pull up
He
to
had
my
to say
game.
a prayer before that,
Yeah,
like, yo,
exactly.
God, yo,
Ebony,
you gotta keep me on this one.
The clip that I seen, he was there when the lights were off. Like,
Oh, yes,
he was
yes,
there
yes.
early.
Like, yeah.
I'm like,
So, yeah.
Like, you
now,
gonna see
like,
doing
you
too much
really
for no
doing
reason.
too much. Like,
He
For no
wants a
reason,
reaction.
yeah.
He wanted a reaction.
And
man.
that's the thing.
reaction.
Some people do things to get
Yeah.
a reaction. And
Yeah.
now that's going to mess up my money. That's
Exactly.
going to mess up everything
right,
I
so I'm
got
not even
going
going to
on.
play
I think
into
LeBron
your...
I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, don't let
Play
them trick
big.
you out your spot.
That's
That's
it.
what I'm
Say it
about
again.
first.
Say it again.
Play
Yeah.
chess,
Don't
not
let them
checkers.
what?
Not checkers.
Exactly.
That's
Don't
right.
let them
Exactly.
trick you out of your spot.
Don't let them trick you out of your
Yeah, I
spot.
love LeBron. He played it big. I loved it.
We have a closing that we use, Ebony, right? Press
Yes.
what?
Press play. So when our guests come, we close out on what are you pressing play on for the remaining of 2025? What are you pressing play on?
What are you
Okay.
pausing and what are you stopping?
Right. So press play.
So we're going to
pause.
stop.
Okay. Let's play, pause, and stop.
What are you
All right.
pressing play on?
I've recently gotten more into, so music-wise, I'll start there, like just music-wise.
So not necessarily
In
music,
just
life.
in life general.
Yes.
But I want to start with
Okay.
With the music.
the music, and that'll go into
Perfect,
everything else.
'cause-
Okay.
So music-wise, making the games, you listen to a lot of music and everything, but I've recently started listening to more and more gospel, or
Oh,
just
nice.
like Lecrae. He does like a hip hop, Christian
I
type
love
of
him.
music, right?
Yeah.
So that's new for me, listening to that type
love
of music.
that.
So
Press and play on that.
but I say that leads into me working out, right? So I'm trying to work out more, right? I'm trying to work out more
Come on.
after
Wellness and fitness.
yeah, exactly. So
love it.
wellness and fitness. I think if you are as Dion would say, you look good, or you look good, you feel good
feel
type of thing,
good,
right?
of
So
course.
I think I'm trying to, get that back on
I
track.
love
So
that.
me listening to the gospel music while I'm working out.
Press play on
So press and play on that
Yes,
to
I
start
love
up
that.
like the workout.
Okay, good.
Pausing. I ain't gonna stop, but I'm pausing on the
Okay.
sweets all the time.
I'm pausing.
I'm
While you
pausing
working
on the
out.
sweets, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I got to get these abs back.
I love it.
And what it was stopping.
Yes. What are you
I
stopping?
think I'm going to stop on procrastination.
Mm.
On procrastinating, I think
Yeah.
that's
a good
just
one.
everything. Like, because that affects like work wise.
Yeah.
I remember at one point, me and Nikki was talking about going out more, dates and everything. I'm like, yeah, but I'm tired. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like, yeah, we'll get to it. It's like now it's like, bro, you don't have no excuses. Just make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prioritize things like that. Or even like teaching my son how to ride a bike. Before it was just like, all right, wait, let me just finish doing this. Let me just finish. Now it's nice weather. I'm like, all right, Jay, we're going to wake up early. We're going to learn how for you to ride this bike. We're going to go out there. You're going to ride. I'm going to run. And cool, we get it done
Love
that way. Yeah.
that.
So
You
just
both
no
gonna
more
work on him.
procrastination. Yeah.
Can you expound a little bit on how important it is for you to protect Black women? Your wife, for example, especially in business. And we know how hard it is for Black women to garner or gain a certain amount of respect with their counterparts
Gotcha.
specifically male counterparts. So how do you protect your wife in some spaces, or
If
how does that work? Do you take the lead in certain spaces? I know she does a lot of the
so
organizational
I
stuff.
think we both take the lead in like certain spaces. Like I think we in our house, it's very much so work towards your strengths, right? So let's say cooking, for instance. It's not my strong point. We will be there for hours. I'm going to cook this, and then I'm going to cook where her stove is. She cooking everything all at once type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But me, if it's like, all right, we got to get the kids ready. We got to do this. We got to do this. I'm better at getting the kids and dealing with the kids and distracting them so you could go ahead and do your thing, right? So I think it's working towards your strengths. But definitely, I would say, like, she, to me, always handled herself in like a regal manner. So it's like, why would I let somebody take her out of her element, showing her respect? Definitely not in front of me. It was a situation in college where that had to be handled. That was handled the right way, and you know what I'm saying? So there has been instances where someone has tried, but that was done and over with quickly.
But were you there to step in?
Yeah. So the story basically went, you know how you in a college dorm, I'm chilling in her dorm, and she was an RA at the time, and it was a kid, he came out.
Resident assistant, for those who may not be familiar with RA stands for.
If you are a resident assistant, you have to like decorate a board and things like that around the dorm.
And you get privileges
And things like
scholarship
that, right?
money. Yeah.
So she decorated her board, and it was just a young, dumb prank. I don't even know it was a prank, just a kid that was bored or whatever. And he like rips her board.
Ooh.
So not a big deal. All right, cool. But then she opens the door. I was like, why would you rip my board? Why would you do that? And he was like, come on, you acting like, why are you being such a bee? And I was like,
No, he didn't. No, he
what?
didn't.
So now I'm sitting down.
No, he didn't.
I got on drawers. We chilling in the dorm, like just chilling.
He didn't know you was in
He
there?
didn't know I was in there.
Ooh, I love
So
it.
now I come out. So she's like,
better.
no, Juelz, children. I'm like, yo, who? So now I'm in his face, mushing him, doing all. Like, yo, go get dressed. Because he came out of the shower. Go get dressed. No. We going to handle this. Go get dressed. It does. You know my energy. That's not me.
Yes.
I'm not on that type of time or whatever,
super
right?
Cool, yeah.
So now, but you just called her a bee in front of. Nah, we're not going to let that
Because you
rock.
thought you was going to get away with it.
So now that puts me in a situation, right? Like we were saying with the whole LeBron, I'm handling it, but now I know in my mind, I'm not thinking about nothing else, right? But she's like, Juelz, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
I'm a RA. I cannot pay for school.
Right.
But I need this.
I need this.
So you gotta go. You gotta leave at this point. Now it's more or less sneaking me out of the dorm. They're like, yo, you wild. So you know what I'm saying? So so yes, definitely much so protect her. You know what I'm saying? In situations where I feel like she needs to be protected, for sure. Yeah. But I think also on like, as far as like business wise, I think it's difficult for women, you know, to not more or less gain respect, but just kind of get in the door sometimes. People try to like gatekeep.
Yeah.
But I think myself and Dante do help Tiff and Nikki out where need be. But to be honest, they don't need a lot of help. Like they can handle on their own, you know, because you think about it, Nikki brought the idea to us. Tiff made it work. So as we always say, this is a family business, but it's definitely a woman-led business.
Oh, come on, ladies.
Nah, they doing it. They doing it.
Ladies. It's just because before you go, literally we have 1 minute.
Okay.
What would you say as far as the effectiveness of marketing strategies? We need all these gems because we have our businesses, we're doing content creation. From email marketing, would you say is most effective, somewhat effective, or least effective for email marketing? Just
email marketing. So I think it's ebbs and flows. So like I would say around like holiday season, I would say definitely email marketing because some people was like, oh man, I should have bought that game. Or, I forgot that game. I forgot
because you didn't remind me. I didn't see it in my email.
Now you didn't remind me, right? So now it's like, okay, email and text messaging. Those we do simultaneously. If we send out an email, we send out a text.
Text as well.
You know what I'm saying?
Social media ads, most effective, somewhat effective, or least effective?
So during COVID, it was very effective. It was super, super, super effective where we were paying money for the ads, but the return was crazy. It was flowing. Now that has slowed down with Meta and everything like that with the algorithm. So it just slowed down a lot. Okay. So it's still effective though, but it has slowed down. I would say with social media wise, listening to different business podcasters and TikTok. TikTok is it.
TikTok?
Oh,
TikTok is it. TikTok
I
is
gotta,
it.
and I have to be more active on
Just
TikTok.
posting on TikTok.
Just
going
posting on
crazy.
TikTok because
I'm not
you
good
could
on
get a viral
TikTok.
video
Yeah.
and you link it with your TikTok shop and it just goes through the roof.
Ooh.
D is gonna love that because I wasn't big on TikTok. He was like, yo,
Yeah, me
TikTok, this
either,
is it,
but
this is it. But I think for us, like
Different generation.
different generation. So we
Yeah.
was like, nah, that's not. It feel like kid
Yeah.
stuff. But
yeah, but that's where the money
people
resides.
are scrolling on
Where the
TikTok.
money
It's
resides.
like
So
a-
do you think it's good for us to start doing ads? You know, we're in
Yeah,
premature
I would
podcasting.
say do ads
Pay for
or
ads
more or
for
less.
now.
What I would do is get as much content as you can,
Mm-hmm.
and then so what we do is your most popular videos. Those are the ones you're gonna run ads with.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Smart.
by us, what we're doing is if it's 100,000 if it's 100,000 views, cool, we're gonna run that up as an ad.
Gotcha.
We also look at our analytics in terms of how many DMs, how many saves, how many comments, what are people commenting on.
shares, yeah.
Unfortunately, most people like the videos where people get the answers wrong. So
Oh,
those
really?
are the So it's
Wow.
like, man,
You're
why
checking
are like
your
people
algorithm,
getting them
you see
wrong?
it.
So you
Yeah.
see, like, okay, like I took all the videos that reached over 100,000. What is it? How I'm laying out the video? Is it in landscape mode, portrait mode?
Right.
Are there words on the screen? Like all of that's very important,
Your
right?
thumbnails, your
Your
face,
thumbnail,
that's what
everything.
it's
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything's important to making that connection with
Yeah.
your audience. But I would say your highest viewed videos, those are the ones that you want to
The ads on.
run the ads on.
Okay.
But it's also by platform, right? So you might have a video on YouTube that's killing.
That may not translate on
That may not
Instagram.
translate on Instagram, so then you got to
Gotcha.
play with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
very.
in the interim, sending our friends and family DMs and doing ads, or do you still do that
Do
at
everything.
this point in your business? Are you
We
still, you're not
do-
doing it no
not,
more.
Not the
But in the
DMs.
beginning, you was-
Yeah. So the
You was
DMs
DMing
not
in
so
the
much, but
beginning.
if it's like something new coming out, like we are gonna have a new. It's not a new version, but something new with the cars. The hint will be that if it's summertime, so people gonna be around the beach and the poolside. That's the hint. I'll
Okay.
throw that out.
I think I know what it is. I'm gonna say that.
So,
see if I
but
was
yeah,
right.
I think
dope.
you like that. That's something new. We may send a text message out
Yeah,
to a
to the
group chat or
family,
something like
yeah.
that. Like, yo, get these cars. This is something new that we featuring. But most of the time, it's just run it up like on your personal page, put it up on your business page, do it in your stories all the time, things like that.
Last one, event networking. Most effective, least effective. Somewhat effective.
I would say it depends. It depends on how your follow-up game is.
Would you consider your
so-
street interviews any networking, event networking? Like,
Well, it can be. So, for instance, right, like our first viral video that we ever had, big shout out to Courtney B. She's a comedian that was on Wild 'N Out, and now she's partnering with Nick Cannon on We Playing Spades If You Want.
yes,
yeah, I've
that's
seen
So
that.
yeah.
I
So
referenced that,
she-
but I was like, we're gonna get the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she I did not know her from a hole in the wall at all. And I was doing street interviews at a party. And all her homegirls was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do an interview. Nah, I'm good. And I was like, all right, cool, no problem. She was like, I'll do it. And I was
Right.
like, all right, cool. We got
love
her video. I didn't think it was going to do, like I had no idea. We didn't have a viral video yet.
Right.
So then I'm looking at our TikTok and I'm like, the numbers is just going,
Crazy.
I'm like, yo, Courtney, so I wrote her and I'm like, yo, Courtney, I don't know if you have a TikTok or don't have a TikTok, but you need a TikTok because this video is going viral. And she's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Thank you. She's like,
Thank you.
yeah. And then she texted me later on like, yo, my mother seen the video. How she seen the video? Like this, I'm like, yo, I don't know. I didn't do anything crazy. This is all
Right.
you. This is your energy coming
love
across.
it.
You know what I mean? So I think the street interviews can be networking in that
Right.
sense. And just, just mix and mingling, talking with people. If you're doing, let's say, podcast or fitness or baking, just go to those type of events.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you put yourself out, let's say you go to a podcast event, and you just say, yo, if you need food at your set or in your studio,
Right. I got
hire
you.
me out. I'll cater the food, or cater the dessert. And yo, this is my card. All I ask is that you tag us.
Yeah.
Cool, and enough
yeah.
people see the tag
Yep.
and things like that, and you just
All
go
about
up from
strategy.
there. Yeah.
Yep. All about strategy. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Of course,
You
no
dropped
problem.
some good
Good
gems.
gems. And
We
the quote of the
appreciate
day.
you.
Thank
You want
you.
you want to kick off the quote of the day, Ed?
You
We
got
can do it together.
Go ahead, girl. 'cause
You want to
didn't make it.
embrace
Yes.
what makes you unique even if it makes others uncomfortable. And I didn't have to become perfect because I've learned throughout my journey that perfection is the enemy of greatness. And that is our quote of the day.
Love that.
Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe.
Got it.
Thank you, Jules.
Thank y'all so
been
much.
a pleasure.
Thank y'all so much.
Need all of our guests. I feel like you guys are so good. They were like, we need a part 2.
Right.
Speaking of part 2, my bad to cut you off.
It's okay.
When we get another book.
Yes,
When we get another book.
It's in the works.
Okay.
I had some challenges I needed to work through with the illustrator. The same illustrator, mind you. So the illustrations are done.
Okay.
The title is done, but like I was telling Ebony, I wanted it to be a surprise this time.
Got you. All
So
right.
last time I was like telling everybody.
I was like, tell me. She's like, no, I'm gonna surprise you.
Got you. All right.
Yeah, so thank you
Yes.
for like pushing me to keep on pushing P and putting out the second book.
Yeah.
Definitely on the way.
Yeah, we ain't gonna stop. We on our way to the top. We on our way to the top.
Thank you guys for joining us. Listen. Remember to subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Leave a comment if you like the content. Like. It's free, right?
Free.
It's
Support is free.
Comment, like, share, subscribe.
Tell the
It's
people
free.
where they can reach you guys at, to your Instagram and
So
your
yes,
platform.
all our platforms on all social media platforms is Lyrically Correct Game. We're also soon going to be coming out with a playlist for each game. Look out for that. Look out for some events that we got coming up. Just check out Lyrically Correct Game on TikTok, Twitter, known as X, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Go support, guys.
Black
Go
love.
support.
Yes,
Black
definitely.
legacy.
For your next event, your next family, your
Lyrically
cookout.
Correct. Your cookout,
Come
family
on,
reunion,
guys.
a bar mitzvah, your
Something
sweet
fun.
16,
Right,
a wedding, everything, anything you need.
All
it.
of the things.
Look, first date.
First,
Come on, stop playing with me.
if you're not in tune with the music, that's what I'm telling you. Fellas, once again, she like R&B. I'm telling you, get right. I'm telling you.
It's been
Let
a
your
pleasure.
next move be your best move.
That's a fact.
And
That's
it's
a fact.
It is a wrap.
wrap.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
It was good.
Thank you so much.
My dreams is vivid, work hard to live it. Any place I visit, I got land there.